Former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is set to submit a collection of documents as an evidence before he faces MPs over whether he lied to the Parliament about the Partygate scandal or not. According to his spokesperson, the Privileges Committee will try to defame Johnson's political position, and the evidence will show that he did not knowingly mislead the Parliament. The committee is reviewing 4 instances when then Prime Minister Boris Johnson allegedly misled the MPs with his assurances that lockdown regulations were being followed. Now, according to reports, Johnson will release messages that will show how some senior figures at Downing Street believed the gatherings were protected by the workplace exemption in the lockdown rules. The investigation panel will be chaired by Labour Party member Harriet Harman. The panel will decide whether Johnson is guilty of contempt of Parliament and will recommend any penalty applicable. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has said that he will not seek to influence the MPs on the panel. Many Johnson supporters have raised their concerns over the party investigation done by former civil servant Sue Gray. Now, this is happening because earlier reports surfaced that she is going to join Labour Party leader Keir Starmer's office. However, the committee has long denied that its inquiry is based on the Gray report. For more on this, we were earlier joined by Alex Izat to tell us more on this development.
We're expecting Boris Johnson to publish his defence about lockdown parties later. It's understood that he'll say he was unaware of any gatherings that broke the rules. And this is ahead of his case being submitted to a Privileges Committee, where he will face them on Wednesday. And then they will decide if the gatherings were reckless or intentional. Now, the committee is examining evidence from at least 4 occasions where he may have misled the Commons with his guarantees that restrictions were adhered to. A report earlier this month suggested breaches of lockdown rules in place during the coronavirus pandemic should have been obvious to Mr. Johnson. Now, he is expected to highlight previously unrevealed WhatsApp messages from senior civil servants and members of his Number 10 team, showing he had relied on their advice when he made his statements. It's going to be a huge deal for the Conservative parties. Should Johnson's actions be deemed contempt of Parliament, there could be a suspension of Parliament for about 10 days for him or more. It could ultimately trigger a by-election for Mr. Johnson's seat. Now, right now, the Conservatives are not very popular with the public, and if that seat is won by a Labour member, it could set Labour on course to win a future election. And within the party itself, a lot of backbenchers have been vocal in their support for Boris Johnson over Rishi Sunak. So what that would mean inside the party is anybody's guess, but it's something that we're definitely going to be watching at over the next couple of days.